Jack Fleming Artistry here. I see a question posed that's kind of the same question a lot of times. Somebody will come on like Facebook or somewhere else and they'll say, hey, I've got a car with this color, and this color that a customer wants me to pinstripe. What color should I put on it? I'm faced with that same kind of question right now, and I figured I'd show you guys how I answer it. I've got a customer coming up that's having his car painted. This is the test panel for the colors they finally decided on with the painter, and we're going to figure out what colors to put on it. I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase, mess around and find out, or another version of it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I look at this as kind of a scientific method, right? Look at the colors that you have on the vehicle, come up with a hypothesis. I think this color might look good. And then you test it out and you look at it. You say, well, it worked, it didn't work. Or you can look at it and you can say, I think it's really close. I like how it does this, that, or the other thing. And for instance, on this one, my hypothesis first was, with greens and black, if I want it to stand out a lot, you can put a color on it that's going to be opposite of those. This is all kind of cool. We'll put something warm in. This isn't orange, it's vermilion. Vermilion's a little bit more red than orange is, and red is the complementary color of green. So if you look at your color wheel, you could pick a complement, and that's a good way to go. So let's test red next. Before I wash this brush out, I'm going to take, and basically I'm making notes right here, right? I put the color over there to test it. I really do like how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a straight line of every color that I like over here on this panel. I know that the panel behind me here is going to get sanded, and all the colors that I'm putting on right now are going to come off of it. They're going to reshoot clear on it, rather than sand it. We're going to put all of the color the way we want it, and then reshoot clear on it. So these will get wiped off. I'm just using enamel. I'm not putting hardener in it because I know that they're going to go away. And then I'm saving them here on this test panel so that after those are gone away, I can come back and match colors if I need to. For this panel, test-wise, I'm kind of breaking this up. We want to see what the color looks like both between the black and the green. And then if we outline the green flames that are green on green, what colors we can outline those with that'll look good and probably still subtle. So because of that, I'm just doing sections here. Okay, I realize that I probably want to take the colors that I really like and come over here to see what the black's going to look like surrounded by green on them. Now your camera angle's probably not the best, but I need to be able to make sure that I can do this well. I think we'll come up here. This way we can see what these look like totally surrounded by green. Just so you guys know, I am using a Matt Kelly sword striper here and one shot enamel. This also gives me an opportunity to practice my outlining. And you could not get a proper camera angle on this color. Where I did it on that other line, being so close to the bottom, the lighting in here is so awful, you just couldn't see it. I think my customer is going to have a hard time picking the color, because in my mind, all of these so far really work. However, every single one of them completely changes the feel of this paint scheme. So it all kind of boils down to what kind of feeling he wants out of this, how he wants it to look. Something that I think is important when you're working with a client and you're trying to figure out colors is to limit how many options you show them. So I might test 20 colors if I wanted to, but honestly I had in mind what colors I really thought would work, and I'm going to leave it to those. But I try not to show my customers more than about 3 options. In this case, that's going to be 3 options where black meets green. And now we're going to figure out 3 options for this green on green. So with the 2 different color choices that I have here, they're getting 3 options per color choice. And again, we're putting all three of those on this little panel here just for notes. You can use this as an opportunity to practice your straight lines. So going back to our adage of mess around and find out, I put my bottle of processed green up to this, and I wasn't sure about it, but I thought it might work. So I went ahead and tested it, and when I did, it looks blue. From a color theory perspective, what's happening when you have a color where processed blue is kind of a blue-green, but it's more on the green side, when I surround it in a field of green, it kind of isolates it and it allows the opposite color, the other color, the blue in it, to be what shows. It's actually really kind of interesting. You can take a color and change its color, how it appears, by what you put around it or what you put it on top of, if that makes sense. It's actually part of what we did in color theory class in college. I'm wiping this off right now. Now I'm wiping it with mineral spirits, and then I'm going to come back and clean the surface again with isopropyl alcohol. Just about my whole color theory class in college is where we took little bitty color samples, and we'd take like a square and we cut a smaller square out, and we would isolate the one color inside of another one to see how it would appear. And then you'd put a different color square next to it with like the same little bitty square on top of it. And you could make that color go from maybe like a blue, like this is there, to looking like a total green on the other one by putting it on a blue color. So, kind of neat. Here's that book that I was talking about. This whole class, we spent a year of doing the whole mess around and find out thing, right? Look at this one. That's the same color square inside of both. But if you look at the one on the right, it appears brighter and more yellow than it does when you surround it with yellow. A little bit larger examples. You know, seeing the difference. Just how the color appears. Just like picking colors for pinstriping and stuff, the whole thing was come up with the hypothesis for color, test it out, mess around and find out, right? All right, I'm in different clothes because I had to step away from this for a couple of days, but last time we found that processed green just looked too blue. Talked to you guys about why. So this time I'm using emerald green. It's a little bit more yellow looking. If this ends up being kind of bluish looking, I've got an idea on how we're going to doctor it. But let's test this out first. Load my brush up, grabbing paint, dragging it up the side of the brush, trying to work a bunch of it in. Come over to my palette, really work that in a lot better. All right, let's go put this to that panel. Trying to find you a good camera angle that also lets me work, that has good lighting, but I can't figure that one out right now. Or I'm too lazy to take the time to do so. I still feel like that's kind of blue looking. So let's give it a little bit more here to have it on both sides of that flame. And then we're going to doctor that up with something else. All right, so you can see in my cup, here's my emerald green. I came out into better lighting, but on the panel, it still looks blue. So what two colors make green? Yellow and blue. So if my green is too blue, then I'm going to add something that's got a lot more yellow to it. We're going to go with sublime green added to our emerald green. Custom color. Now, since we're mixing the color before I put it down, I'm going to test it out here on the light where I brought this to see it a little bit better. And just test that up against it. That is way better. It's actually pretty close. We'll put a little drop out here. I like to use my finger to kind of moosh it around. Helps it dry faster, a little bit better. We're going to wipe it, so we can see how it's going to dry. They usually dry darker. See out here where it's drying. It's always tricky when you're on top of metallics because everywhere the light changes, it's going to change your color, and that one's actually going to look the same. It's kind of weird. Oh, all right, we get that color out here in the sunlight, and it is electrifying. I don't like it. We don't want it to be super stand out. This is supposed to be kind of ghost-like. So get my brush loaded up again. Let's see if this will be better. If not, we will keep mixing until we get it right. Let's go ahead and just come here. Yeah, that's just too bright. Screams at you too much. I'm gonna leave it as an option, but get rid of this other color. Get rid of that goofy start. Just wiping it off with mineral spirits right now. Flip my rag to another spot. Let that be color option 1, but I'm still not really happy with it. All right, this time around I added some black to it. That's going to make it both darker and duller. So hopefully it won't be so screaming at you on here. That's what I don't want. Now, if this doesn't work, I have another green I'm going to try. We'll try medium green. See what it does. I have a feeling this isn't going to look right either. This green's going to be the tricky part. It's better, but it doesn't have a richness that I'm looking for. It's the opacity of this stuff that's making it, I guess not the opacity, but the flatness, I guess. It doesn't have those metallics in it. Because it doesn't have the metallics in it, it just doesn't have the depth. It almost looks like gray now. All right, I wiped all that off. I'm trying the emerald green from Hot Hues. Let's see if this works any better. This is better. Need a little bit of reducer on this. Go back over that line. Probably should just wipe it, go again, but this is a test panel, so not gonna stress out on the line consistency very much. Oh, definitely be using a different brush if I do this in Hot Hues. I find that natural hair brushes seem to work a whole lot better with this stuff than these synthetics. Someone else probably has better experience than me with them. Tell you totally different. Gives us enough to look at. I don't like it. I'll show you guys this real quick. This is medium green from one shot right out of the can, and it's like that one was that we mixed with a little bit of black into the other color. It's just Come on. Of course, I'm having a hard time getting on here. Jeez. Well, there we go. It's just dull and kind of gray looking on that green. It really looks like gray. Might not show on the screen. All right, I took these examples to my customer and we were able to look over stuff along with the painter that's painting the car and come to the same conclusions that I had, and that is with the metallics and stuff on there, it's really just not going to work to outline those greens. So we're going to keep those as kind of a traditional ghost flame sort of deal with no outline, just the color butting up against color. And then he's got a decision to make. He actually likes two of the different colors on the rest of the parts where the black meets the green. Getting it out in the sunlight and everything, you can just see it. It creates two totally different feels for the car. But that was the whole point in this, right? Figure out what colors we want by experimenting and see what they do rather than just guessing and going with it. This is one of those things that I do a lot with colors, not always as methodical as this. Sometimes I'm testing them on the car right there as I'm getting ready to paint. This is all going to be put under clear, and I'm going to end up pinstriping on top of base coat, I believe, on this. So we needed to test ahead of time. But a couple things I hope you guys learned from this about color and how one color can totally change when it's surrounded by other colors, and then also about how to put the scientific method into what it is that we're doing. If you guys like this, as usual, please click like, subscribe, and if you want to keep watching stuff like this, click one of the other two videos that pops up, and y'all have a good day.